Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hello,
CripChat.
hello
Sorry,
everybody.
David, go
Welcome
ahead.
to CripChat, your weekly podcast for everything disability. Today I have with me is Jonathan Shar, Ibby,
Hello.
Hello.
Dave, David Cunningham. There's two Davids here today, and David D.
Oh, so we've got
How
David
are we
C and
today?
David D. Thank you for joining
David C
us.
and
Hello,
David D.
welcome. How you going,
Great.
David?
I'm fine.
Good.
Yourself? What are we talking about today, Ibby?
Today, we'll be talking about, the NDIS and how to manage your NDIS package.
Ooh, that's a bit
Yeah,
of a tricky one. That's a
yeah,
bit of a
yeah.
tricky
Look,
one. Some people don't know how to manage it, and some people find it a bit hard. How to
yeah.
claim, how to, if they're overspending, what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, who,
Yes,
who, what they're entitled to.
monitoring your
Uh,
budget is one thing. But also got to look into, finding the right support workers,
Exactly.
complaining with, dealing with complaints, sorry, and just the overall NDIS quality and safeguards commission.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, David C, what's your
Yes.
experiences like using the NDIS?
Well, basically, I'm plan managed, but I self-govern, which
Nice.
basically
So, what
means
does
that
that mean?
it basically means that I run my package like a company.
Nice,
We're,
nice.
we're like I'm the board of my company, and I basically run it like a company. So I have my support coordinator, my plan manager, and I have a family advisor, and I have a senior support worker that looks after my support work team. And yeah, it works
No,
reasonably well.
that's
And the
Okay.
good
awesome.
news
That
is,
is awesome.
I built it up myself too in the last 4 to 5
Oh,
or so years.
Very good. Very good. So, David, this is David D. Um, just asking, do you have a constant support worker, or do you have a support company that takes care of you?
so basically, what David D is saying is that do you have just the one support worker, or is there a rotation? David C.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I actually only have one provider worker, and the rest are all contractors. So they're all actually are all sole traders. The majority of them are, which means that they report to
Okay,
me directly.
so
Um,
you've got your own ABN and you
no,
pay
no,
each
no,
one individually.
no, no, no. They all have ABNs. I don't require an ABN
Okay,
Right. Yep. Yep.
because I'm their customer contracting them.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically, like how it helps to know what our roles are in the NDIS too, right? Because we have three roles. We have the one with the NDIS being the actual participant, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have our customer role, which is in the
Yep.
marketplace to engage services, and then we
Yep.
have our role as a client of workers, which is a different role altogether again.
Yeah, see, the way I go about it is I've got a company that takes good care of me. Like they send me support workers, and I've worked out what days I want support and what I want to do on that day,
Mm-hmm.
and they send me certain people on different days at different times.
That's
How do
Now,
you
awesome.
And like, how would you go about solving a problem then if you have one then?
I beg your pardon.
How would you solve a problem with a worker?
With a worker,
Yeah, if you had one,
if I had one, I'd just call up the boss.
Mm.
and say
Straight to
and
the
say
top
get
end,
yeah, and say get rid of them, right?
No,
pretty much.
not really, because this company that takes care of me is a very good company, and the person, the boss is very particular in choosing her support workers.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Okay.
but David is saying that. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't get rid of him straight away. They'll
No, they
probably
won't get
let him
rid
off
of.
with a warning or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they'll of course do the performance appraisals and yeah, just
Yeah.
give him the feedback. Yeah, Jonathan.
And it's always good before approaching your provider to initially try and raise the issue diplomatically with the worker and only if it can't be resolved, then you escalate.
Well, that's correct, Jonathan. If you don't try resolving it with the worker, then it's not gonna be worth it to call their boss, because at the end, if you talk to them and they can rectify it, there's no need to call the boss.
That's
Just
right. That's
That's
right.
true. Yeah.
But if things do get out of hand and you're in that
that
uncomfortable position, then yeah, you take it to top management.
that's correct. Now, how do you know when your NDIS is low?
Oh yeah, look, that's a good question, David. It's
It is
always
a great
good to
question.
yeah, it's you got your portal, so you can access that through your MyGov. It's always good to constantly monitor your spending. Make sure that you have enough money, I guess, to get services. If not, then negotiate with your service providers. See how you can work out what services you want to get. Sounds
See,
awesome.
sometimes you want more services, and you probably don't have enough funds. Now, what do you
Mm,
do then?
mm. Well, like for me, if I do come across that situation, I would go about, I guess carrying on my services, but then, uh, I would talk to your boss, I guess, and then maybe credit your, I guess, spending, so that when you do get your new plan, you can back pay them. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts
Can't
on
you
that,
do an
David?
early review?
You can,
What
but
about
the
doing an
time
early review?
you can, but the timing, I guess, takes a while. Unless you got a good relationship with your plan manager or your LICs, then I'm pretty sure that it'll come in real
Sometimes you make
time.
sure. Sometimes you can make sure that you got enough for a few months, and then do an early review. So if something does happen, they can take care of it before
Yeah,
you run
but
out.
there is the uncertainty as well. Like,
Yeah, I
so
know.
yeah, things can come up. That's the ugly thing. That's the gap in the NDIS itself. Because the process does take a very long time. It does take a
Sometimes,
while.
yeah.
It's
like
always good to
Well,
pre-plan.
you
yeah,
can
like
always escalate it.
when it comes to my network, my support network, my package, I actually get a monthly budget report from my plan manager. It actually says
Yep,
where my budget is, what I'm spending, who's invoicing, when they invoice, and also how much money I have left. And so basically,
that's yeah, sorry, go on.
month I actually have a governance meeting with my coordinator where we actually decide what happens together in my package every month,
Yep.
which helps as well
And
to keep on
that's
top of
awesome,
everything.
David. See, that is very awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's what makes a great plan manager. That's the difference between a great one and a dodgy one. Great
And
ones will often get. I help you track your spending, track how much you have left in your funding. They would provide you those reports. Some are fortnightly, some
Okay.
are
Yeah.
monthly. And that's how you'll know whether your
I've
plan
got
manager
another
is the
question.
right one. Sorry, David, go on.
How do you know a support worker is good for you and that support worker would work for you?
Well, as in most cases, if you do have, I guess, money in the budget, but also if you're running it as a business, you can always interview the support workers to find the right one that
Spot
matches,
on.
I guess, your interest. Go ahead, I know David C is laughing at me. He
No, no,
agrees with
no,
me.
no, 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 like that's right. I mean, I fully agree with you. That's a good
Yeah,
point to interview. And of course, to me, like they should actually take around 45 minutes to an hour to interview properly because
yeah,
you
because
can't just interview someone for like 10 minutes and get an idea of how they are. You
Oh
know,
yeah, of
and,
course.
you could always get to know the person by having them as a support worker for a day, and then if you're comfortable with them, then you just tell them they're on a trial. If you're comfortable with
A
them,
3 day
that's true.
trial, a
Yeah, that is
30-day
true.
trial,
not 30 day, a week,
huh? Try before you buy.
a
Try
day or
before you
two.
buy.
Try before
Yeah,
you buy.
you can't just do a free trial. But
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, no, look, if you got a free
it,
day to
it,
yourself,
if
yeah, plan out.
anyone's got any questions, please pop it up on the portal, and we'll
No
probably
worries,
try to
take it,
get back to
David.
you.
No worries, yeah, yeah. Feel free to comment also your experiences with choosing the right support worker. But let's move on to managing issues or concerns when it comes to services. So yeah, when you're ever uncomfortable or you're in a position where you feel intimidated, always reach out to the managers for the I guess the company that you get your support workers from. Um, if you feel like you can resolve it with them, talk to them and see if you can work or find a way out of it. Otherwise, it's good to let the top management know.
You
Uh,
got to remember, everything is resolvable. Not to
mm-mm.
panic. You can always
Yep.
change companies. You can always change burgers
Yep. All right.
as long as
Uh,
you're healthy
uh,
and
Can I, yeah, can I chuck in this other point we've got to maybe think about as well as a community too? Is that I think the job is to look at the actual learning and development journeys of our support workers because
mm-mm.
really right, we all are the best trainers on the job training they'll ever properly have.
Mm-mm.
And so I think it's
yeah,
important we look at how we can help them to actually gain new skills and new abilities to actually do their job, you know, like better. And see, to me, it's important instead of us just yelling at a worker or saying to them how bad they're doing their job or a task, whatever. We should be looking at how we can maybe help them to actually, understand why that's not, the best thing to do, and then look at how we can actually, help them
uh,
to gain
better
new
themselves.
understanding. Exactly.
Exactly.
They'll better their selves by experience and by knowledge.
That's right. Because
And
I mean, to me, it's important we do that.
if you could tell them why it's better to do things this way, they'll understand, and they'll understand why they're doing it and what not to do.
Yeah.
It's always good. Yeah, you need to provide that training for your support workers. It's always good to keep them up to date with the needs that you may require for them to effectively perform their services. Always constantly monitor them as well, because you gotta always remind them that they're there to perform their services, and so you gotta utilize that. So, yep,
It's
provide them with the training. Make sure they're trained up.
they
Sorry, go ahead, David.
make sure they're not doing things that they want to do, not you want to do. Because I've got my support worker. I go, what are we doing today? They go, what do you want to do today?
Exactly.
That's it.
It's not
Exactly.
my it's not my time. It's your time.
Yeah.
That's spot on. It's all about you.
But
Yeah, it's
if you
Oh, Jonathan's
do,
saying something.
but
sorry, you're a bit low.
if you do have an issue, you can't solve. You have options. You can get advocates, or you can approach the NDIS Quality Safeguards Commission.
So you
So
can report people.
yeah, yes. So this is in extreme cases when there's nothing that I guess the company itself can do, and you want to take a bit further, you would report to the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. Um, even if you do feel uncomfortable with it, sharing with the management, and you want to report it to a higher body, you always go to the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. So they're designed to protect people from fraudulent activities or unfair treatment when it comes to the NDIS.
Yes, basically
So
like
yeah,
like in short, the commission is actually the regulator of the disability services sector. So
exactly.
yeah, so like it's important that we
What's
are involved in them. A regulator is like it's like a body that can enforce the rules on workers and on providers
like
who don't do the right.
so there are people that police the rules.
That's right,
Pretty
and
much.
they can basically sanction or give out penalties or punishments to providers who do the wrong thing, or a worker who doesn't do the right thing, either
But
in severe
it's
cases.
basically designed to protect users or participants of the NDIS.
That's right. Like I mean,
But does it
maybe we should.
but does it also protect NDIS providers too? Because they can
Yes, yes and no. Yeah, it does because
it can
they can actually
protect them.
educate them.
It can protect
Yeah,
them
Mm-mm. In
and
some
Yeah,
then
true.
cases, yeah.
someone else was in some cases, if the NDIS participant is not doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly, yeah, yeah, exactly. So it works either way. But look, the NDIS Content Safeguards Commission is there to protect everyone from fraudulent activities. So if you do ever have an issue or a concern, you would report to them. They will also become be involved in the auditing. So if you're self-managed, they may step in from time to time and audit your funding to make sure there's also no
Okay,
fraudulent activities happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
understood.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Is there anything else that we have to look
No,
through?
no, perhaps we can put a link to the commission's website and contacts in the
Mm.
on the
In the
Facebook page,
comment.
maybe. You're in the comment
Yes,
section. Yeah.
that's also. All right, moving on. Any final thoughts? David C, because the first letter in the alphabet.
Cool. Can I just say it's my second time on the podcast now, and I tell you right, I love it, and also right, I love you guys.
Thank you for the feedback. But do you have any final thoughts in
No,
relation
no,
to this topic?
no. Just to make sure we run our package as well, and to make sure we actually, continue to, like, I guess, have a decent standard for ourselves of how we view our packages, because it actually is taxpayers' money. We've got to remember
Yep.
that, and we have to make sure
Awesome.
we actually run it well with that in mind. You know.
Awesome. Thank you for that, David C. Moving on to David D. What
Yes,
are your thoughts?
yes. My final thought is make sure you get what you need. Not don't let anyone tell you you can't do things because you've got disability. But that's what it's for. If you can utilize your NDIS for the greater good of yourself, get it done. Okay, if you start to run low on funds, before you run low, get a review and be able to have evidence why you need these funds and why you need it topped up. Because if you're not
Yeah.
using it, you can lose it.
Very good tip. Thank you, David. My final thoughts is yeah, if there's ever any
Well,
issues or concerns, make sure you go to the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. They're designed to protect you and to ensure that no funny business is happening with the NDIS. Um, sorry, David, did you have anything you want to add?
yeah. What about Jonathan? Does he have any last thoughts also?
Let's move on to Jonathan
My,
now.
my final is if you have a problem, remember there are advocates out there who can help you with issues. So you're not one participant up against the whole NDIS or big provider.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you guys for, I guess, your final thoughts. Um, you have been watching CripChat, your weekly podcast on everything disability. Join us next week as we talk about a new topic. But for now,
Please
enjoy your
like and
weekend.
share.
Please
Yeah,
like
Please
and
like and
like and
share,
share.
share.
and we'll see you. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.